Hey, this is Erica from MCS Logistics. I am just hopping on really quick because I just finished a dispatch training, and two of the students that came in had taken trainings previously and did not know how to calculate the driver's rate per mile. Um, it's very important that you know how to calculate this. It's important that, even though it shows the rate per mile here in the load board, what happened was we called a broker and it wasn't for this load, it was for a different load. But I'm just using this load as an example because that load isn't on here anymore. So what happened was we called the broker and all of this stuff is already pre-populated, but when we called, they told us that there were two additional stops. Okay. So if there's two additional stops, this mileage right here is going to change. So instead of, let's say, 1743, it could have been, like 2,000 miles. Let's say they had to stop there. This load is going to from Albany, New York to the Bronx and then to Brooklyn and then to Deer Park, Texas. So it was two additional stops here. So this number was higher. Um, so what I'm going to do is show you really quick how to calculate your rate per mile. If you want to go in deeper and learn more about dispatching and how to calculate this stuff and how to build relationships with brokers, and everything that you need to know to be a successful dispatcher and how to get your carrier's dedicated consistent freight, you'll want to take my dispatch training. We're only going to be doing the live Zoom sessions for a short period of time, so make sure you lock in your spot as soon as possible. So let's get to it. All right. So we're using this load as an example. So this load is going from Albany, New York to Deer Park, Texas. This is saying that the rate for this load is $3,100, and it's saying that it's 1,743 miles. It automatically calculates it here for you. So I'm going to show you how they got this calculation. So if this load is $3,100, we're always going to negotiate. So I don't care what this number says. If it's a good load or not, I'm still going to be asking for more money for the driver. So we're going to negotiate this $3,100, but just for this example, we're going to take $3,100 to calculate the rate per mile. And then we're going to divide the rate by the amount of miles. That's going to get you 177 or 178. It's going to round up to 178. So that's how they got the rate per mile. However, if there's additional stops that's not listed in here, this number is going to change, right? So let's say this number is, for example, 2,000 miles, right? Because when you called the broker, they said, oh, it's not only these two stops, we have four stops. So it's 2,000 miles instead. Now we're looking at a totally different scenario. So we got $3,100 divided by 2,000 miles. And now your driver is not at $1.78 per mile. He's at $1.55 a mile. That's a big difference. So you want to know your rate per mile and how to calculate it. So when they told us that, now I'm not going to take $3,100 for this load because that's not paying enough. After your driver pays for fuel, after your driver pays for tolls, this is after that, let's say fuel and tolls, and I'm just throwing a number out there. Let's say that costs, $800 for fuels and tolls to get down to Deer Park, Texas. Now we're subtracting $800 from 3,100 minus 800 for fuel and tolls. Now you're down to $2,300. So, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of money. So, we always want to negotiate up. We always want to know how many stops, and we always want to do all of our calculations before we agree to taking a load for our drivers. Drivers make a lot of money, however, they also have a lot of expenses. So every single load, you want to know how to calculate these numbers and you want to negotiate up. If you want to learn more, take my training. You can reach out to me at any time on Facebook, on Instagram. You can also send me